ever since then, he has never ever got on me about going to the casino again. Now he sees it totally different, and I don't get on him about his drinking either. Or that's what he enjoys to do. It's his life. That's what I explained to him, is that everybody's got to find their way in life and do the things they like to do. And if it's bad for us, well, then hopefully we learn how to control that, or not do that, or learn how to get away from it if we can't control it. But if somebody can't control it, that's still their choice, their life. You can't make somebody change or do differently. You can share time with them or try to encourage them to rethink what they want in life or something, but you can't make somebody change. Now, back to the penny plan, before I forget about it, my parents had a seasonal campground spot along the way this way. Well, from their campground spot, it was like, I don't know, well, where it cuts into this route, it's like 11 miles from the casino. But you have to go up the road, up the county road. I don't know if it's 3 to 5 miles up that way, so it would make it about 15 miles from the casino then or something. So, well, anyway, when we go to the campground, because that always helped take care of my parents through the years, I'd go with them in their Class A motorhome so they could still have fun going camping and stuff, and I'd make sure I got all the power hooked up in their sewage lines, and whatever they needed, I'd get it all set up. I'd load and unload the golf cart and hook up trailers. I'd do all the manual labor to get everything set up for them. Once I got them all set up, then I could go do my own thing and let them enjoy their time together, because they're married couples. But that way, and they really liked me going along then, because I'm good at not getting underneath people's feet, or being in their way. But that's because I respect people. So, same thing with my parents. Well, if I was always right there in the middle of them and always there, even if I'm not being butthead, or even if we get along, but I'm still always there, well, then they don't have privacy or their own time, So, I was good at it. Get everything set up, and then I'd go do my own thing or whatever. And one of them was, I could go to the casino and play pennies there. Well, it was a 4th of July weekend, and I went up there, and I had like $5. And I didn't come back for like almost 2 days. And my stepdad, who's my daddy, wonderful man, I love him and I miss him. He was a great, great man. But he had a great sense of humor too, and he liked to be loud and funny and stuff too, and he'd be like in front of everybody because we were all camping. I come back a couple days later after going to the casino with $5, and he's like, Jesus Christ, he says, you're the only person I know that can go to the casino with $5 and be gone for a couple of days. And I was playing the whole time, up and down, playing with my pennies. And I'd win, I'd start out playing small, and then I'd win at, there's points I might get up to hundreds of dollars, but we're camping and I'm having fun, so then I'd start playing a little bigger. Maybe I could win more, because I only came there at $5. It's not like I keep digging in my pocket. So now I'm like I feel like I'm playing on their money, now that I won this much. So there's times I went from just a few dollars, multiple times through the years, that I'd go there with just a few dollars, and I'd get up to hundreds of dollars, and then spend it back in there. There's even times I got up to probably close to $1,000 or something like that, off a couple bucks, and then ended up playing it back in, But I had fun, and it'll end up only cost me $5. See, now if you knew when that curve was going to end, or if you weren't having fun, well then you could, each of those times I could have got out of there with more, but you don't know when it is. But as long as not keep digging in my pocket. I almost forgot about that spot there. There's a dip in the road, because a car caught a long time, so many years back, car fire was there, and it heated up the asphalt so much, it got so hot there that it sinks down there. They repatched it, but then it sunk again, so it dips there. And it's scary in the camper because the camper's so tall. But yeah, so that's the story I was going to tell you about Dad. Couldn't believe it. I could be gone for a couple of days at the casino with only $5. But because I don't mind playing one penny at a time. You know, I'm okay with that. Although it does make some people really mad, other gamblers. Prime example, there's this machine I like playing that don't have many of them left now because they're older machines. It's called Invaders from the Planet Moolah. It's got the cows are wild on it. It's got the farmer families and farm trucks, and you know, it's all around the farm. And then the aliens are cow aliens that are the invaders, and that's why they're wild too and stuff. But anyway, I'm playing Invaders from Planet Moolah penny machine. There's another one right next to me, same identical machine. I am playing my penny or nickel, you know, or dime. At the time, I'd play up to a dime, you know, depending on how I was doing with that. Normally, I'd start out with my pennies, and then, because I'd take the bus there, and then as it got closer to time for the bus to leave, then I'd raise my bet, because I didn't want to run out and then have to not be playing and waiting for the bus. And but anyway, I'd be playing my pennies, and the guy next to me, he's betting max, say, which we'll say is $6 a spin, we'll say, or something like that, I think it is. So he's betting $6 every time he pushes that button. And I'm betting a nickel, we'll say. And I've had that happen while I'm betting a nickel and they're betting $6. We both end up getting into a bonus, okay? When our bonuses are done, he has $6-7 out of his bonus, and here I am at $80, you know, betting a nickel. And that guy got so mad, he was ticked. That just don't make sense, it ain't even right. You know, I'm betting $6, you're only betting a nickel, blah, 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 blah. You know, and I don't want it to turn into an argument, you know, so I'm just like, well, you know, it's gambling, you know, that's how it works, you know. I like playing small because I don't want to lose. If I was betting $6 a spin, you know, I didn't say it to him because that just probably piss him off. But, well, that's how you lose tons and tons of money, you know. And at least if I'm playing small, it's going to take me a long time to lose any fair amount of money, you know, if I'm playing little pennies. But well, even betting 20 cents, 30 cents a spin, you'll go through money fast. Man, you go through money real fast. But when you're betting just a penny or 2 pennies at a time or something, you don't go through that fast. I'm betting a nickel at a time, you go through it at a pretty fair rate, you know. Especially if the machines, if we're talking about what machine you're playing and what the percentage of payback is on it and stuff. So now when they come from the factory, I can't even believe I'm talking about casino stuff on this channel, but I guess that's where I'm going with it right now. When they come from the factory, if they're not a progressive machine is where there's a jackpot that keeps getting bigger and bigger until somebody gets it, you know. And then there will be a limit on some of them. Some of them will keep climbing, some of them will top out at a certain number. Some progressives have to pay, the small progressive has to pay by $50. It'll start at $25, but it has to pay by $50. So like if you got lucky and seen a machine that somebody quit playing and was at like $49.99, well, it's worth playing that because it has to pay off at $50. You can't go past that, you know. Then the bigger one starts at $250 and pays off at